Secretary of Defense Ash Carter met with Afghan President Ashraf Ghani right here in the Afghanistan presidential palace. According to the United States, what Russia's doing is just pouring gasoline on the situation in Syria. It's such a low concentration that it's not supposed to infect the average healthy person. President Hadi was a very close ally. As of today, they have more than 1,000 U.S. military personnel in Iraq, not just in Iranian territorial waters, mind you. Farsi Island is home to an Iranian Revolutionary Guard base. Ash Carter has just announced that the U.S. and the Philippines have conducted joint patrols in the South China Sea.
Well, I got to tell you, it was such an amazing experience to just fly into Carrie and get caught by that cord. But I have to admit, it is so great to be back on dry land.
It's really difficult to read, and you have to scroll through to find any problems. Now take a look at Plan X. It's the same type of data, but it's done in a way so it's easier to identify the problems. But even though this beautiful city is far away from the fighting in eastern Ukraine, the soldiers preparing for that fight are a lot closer than you might think. There are minefields, there are trenches built by these Islamic State fighters, so it's a heavy, tough battle ahead. Marksmanship, like what's going on in the range behind me. But the funds are going to run out. They are going to need more money. The Taliban took the Afghan forces by surprise. The end game, I think, is he has to support his allies. Will serve as advisors, helping to provide logistical planning as the Iraqis move closer and closer to Mosul. Well, the U.S. military says that it had been watching this camp in Rosa. Let's not forget about what they're doing and what they've done in Ukraine, and that is the problem all along. They've both been saying that they've been targeting, quote, terrorists. As for Haver, she'll go back to flying helicopter gunships. Reporting at Fort Benning, I'm Carla Babb. Reporting here in Manila, I'm Carla Babb. Reporting from Baghdad, I'm Carla Babb, VOA News. That little yellow Ranger tab means history's been made.
So proud of you.
Surrounded by fellow West Point women, soaking in a moment that will long be remembered.
This means that I get to be part of training as well in the future. It proves to soldiers, whether males or females, that hey, if you push enough and if you want it and you keep trying and going, it is achievable.
I think that it is a real step forward for the military writ large.
For many graduates, the rigorous training here leads to combat duty, but not yet for the women. For now, Kristen Greist and Shay Haver are Rangers.
Look at that!
But they can't serve as Rangers on the battlefield. Military leaders have until October 1st to recommend to the Defense Secretary which combat post should be open to female service members.
Why would we automatically disqualify 50% of the population? That seems crazy. If people can meet the standards, then we want them.
The military's decision on women in combat is especially important for Greist, who says she'll consider joining the Special Forces if allowed. As for Haver, she'll go back to flying helicopter gunships. Reporting at Fort Benning, I'm Carla Babb, VOA News. Lviv, Ukraine, known for enchanting architecture, lively citizens, and deliciously decadent chocolate. A quick stop at the Lviv Chocolate Factory will set your taste buds soaring. Its charming cafes and quaint cobblestones have led travelers to call it a hidden gem. But don't take our word for it. We spoke with the mayor.
If Kyiv is considered the heart of Ukraine, then Lviv is the soul of Ukraine. There are examples of technologies transplanting a heart, but there is no technology that can transplant a soul.
There's no sign of Russians backing separatists here, 1,100 kilometers from Crimea and 1,200 kilometers from the eastern Donbass region. But even though this beautiful city is far away from the fighting in eastern Ukraine, the soldiers preparing for that fight are a lot closer than you might think. Ukrainian forces are just a quick hour's drive away.
You guys ready to go?
Learning from U.S. troops how to master the basics needed to be a better soldier and a better fighting unit.
How to help injured people, the correct way of shooting, running, and everything else. This training is very useful.
This Ukrainian is heading east to fight after the training. He asked we only use his first name, Sergei, to protect his relatives living in Russia. Are you planning on going soon?
Yeah, I'm a soldier, so it's my duty.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, a little bit.
Back in Lviv, the locals we spoke with are happy the U.S. has come to help.
I think that it's a truly nice thing to do because for the last 10 years, our army was not that battle-worthy.
If we don't have any support from the outside, specifically from the U.S., then the war will be lasting longer and longer.
And as the war drags on, the people here tell VOA they just want the fighting in the east to be over. Carla Babb, VOA News, Lviv, Ukraine.
Make a little pad to help absorb whatever remaining blood we have here.
From techniques in the classroom,
We gotta get tourniquets on, we gotta go!
To real-time reactions in the field, American soldiers at Yavriv Training Ground are teaching 3 key points to this Ukrainian battalion.
Main thing, teamwork, unity of effort, survivability on the battlefield.
Lieutenant Colonel Nick Dusich is the U.S. training commander in Ukraine.
They're getting ready to move out.
He says his soldiers are teaching skills that everyone needs on the front lines.
You have everything from the 12-year veteran to the brand new soldier.
Over and over, they come back for more.
6.
More on how to take lives.
Secure the area.
And how to save them.
Stop the bleeding.
First aid is critical in the east. Soldiers say up to 40% of Ukrainian casualties are from preventable blood loss.
We really harp on hypothermia, stopping massive bleeding, hemorrhage control, some of the basics. And what I tell these guys, it's the basics that will save lives. You won't rise to the occasion, you will fall to your level of training.
Okay, we were losing time here.
That's why the training gets repeated until it's almost instinctive. This Ukrainian soldier, Sergei, will soon head east to fight. And he says he's getting it.
First time it was difficult and we were hurried. We had a lot of mistakes, but in second time it was much better.
Sergei's observation rings true for the American trainers who say they've seen marked improvement from the Ukrainians so far. And the Americans also tell me their experience here is making them better soldiers too.
We've been in Iraq, Afghanistan, we've seen different types of warfare than what they're seeing right now. So while they're in their class, I'm also taking a lot of notes and learning from them, from their experiences.
Experiences in defending their sovereignty in a war that no soldier here said he expected to last this long. Carla Babb, VOA News, Yavriv, Ukraine.